So I'm in Sarasota. I'm on the beach, and it is absolutely beautiful. Um, I'm walking now. I just picked up some seashells. I'm gonna take a picture of them and post them. But I've just been doing this thing where I turn on my camera and I talk. And usually I'm sitting down, but I'm not gonna lie, walking is kind of distracting. But I'm just gonna kind of do my thing. This morning, I was really upset because I wasn't really upset actually. I just needed to make a decision. And it's hard when you're making a decision based off of like things that you actually do have and rather than things that you don't have. And maybe that doesn't make sense, but this morning I needed to turn down something that I really wanted, right? And saying no because declining it made me sad, of course. But at the same time, after I declined it, I felt this burst of energy. And I really didn't understand what the energy was about at all. Like, I'm like, why am I happy? Why do I feel lighter? Why do I feel relieved? And I had to realize that the reason why, oh, well, before I even get into that, oh my God, look at what these people built. Do you see it? It has little things on it. I don't even want to touch it. It's like a castle with stones on, with shells on it. But what was I saying? So I walked into the airport and I'm like, my life, right? Why do I need to be practical in this moment? There's nothing in my life that's practical. Every time I've heard of the word practical, Mitchell, you have to be practical. You got to be practical. It's always been a stifling thing rather than like something that has been expansive. And I really feel that way. Like, I hate the idea of being practical. Oh my God, this looks like a wishbone. Look, you see it? Okay. And it's always just been in that way. So I had to think, I'm like, okay, I'm up at an airport at 4:30 in the morning and this is my life. What is practical about that to where I owe life practicality, my life practicality in this moment? Why do I owe it? Like, I want to be a rock star. I live a rock star life. I do rock star hours. So, what is the point of being practical? I'm 26 years old. I'm free. What is this? What is this about, right? But there was something in me still that was like, not right now. And I had to look up the word practicality because the thing is, I love words, right? And I don't love words to sound smart. I actually love words that we use all the time. And I say this to so many people, like, you look up the words that you use on a daily basis and you'll realize that there's so much more to it that you can gain out of it. And the more you care about these little things, I think they help in life. I think they add up to something, And so I said, what does practical mean? What is the etymology of practical? And it said to act. It's a Greek word. It means to act. And it comes from practice? Not practice, but Praxis. Praxis. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Praxis. Praxis, I believe. And that is, it basically, oh my God, what did it say? I hate to pause this video. I can't pause the video because this is a one take. You can look it up. But it reminded me of so many things. It was basically like, what facilitates the movement? Me, I'm a person that needs movement. I'm a living thing, and I think we all are living things. Look at what's living. Look at what's moving. Look at what's necessary, right? Look at what we're looking at. That's movement. And I think anything that's stagnant, and everybody says this, oh, what's stagnant is this and that. And when I was thinking, I was like, maybe it's too much of an absolute statement to say that anything that's living is moving, right? I think that's too much of an absolute, but what isn't really moving? I think even the things that are still have the potential of movement. Like when you think about a tulip seed, right? It's dormant all winter, but then there's a thing that triggers a thing that triggers a thing, and before you know it, there's tulips, and they don't last very long. They just last quick enough for, look at this circle here. They last quick enough for the bees to do their thing with it, and it's not forever. And I think that's a beautiful thing too. So even seeds, even, I sat with butterflies for a while, and they're very still, but there's so much movement. So there's movement and stillness as well. Even when things aren't moving and we can see it moving, it's still moving. And that's why, I'm always moving, because that's like my thing that I live by. And even when I don't want to live by it and I want to be comfortable in something, life always moves me. And sometimes I'm afraid of that. I'm like, wait, I actually kind of like this. So and I know that once life is ready for me to move, it's going to happen, regardless if I want it or not. And I'm like, but I really like this, and sometimes I experience that fear. I'm just going to say it like that, fear. Look. Oh, wait, see that? Yeah, look at one of them on the floor. But anyway, I know that it's necessary. And so when I thought about practicality and why I owe myself it and why I had all this energy after I declined something that was so great, that was so amazing, it showed me that I chose alignment. And that's what being practical is. Practical isn't about stifling or suffocating, even though it sounds that way to me. And if you know me, that's like the worst. When you think about it in that way, you're like, oh my God, that sounds horrible. Like, oh my God, yuck, ill. No, who wants to be practical? No. But I had to learn what being practical actually is, and it's what allows that movement. Being practical means being aligned, and what facilitates the necessary movement in your life. And what felt good was to know that what wants me, right? Something that I've imagined, what I want wants me just as much, right? Like that's what this no showed me, and I still chose the not right now. And I trust that, it will come back, and I trust myself to have it and get it. But it was just confirmation that what I want wants me. And I don't even think it's about the parties involved of I think it's just symbolically. I just think symbolically that's what it is, and it felt good. So that's where I am, and I feel really great, and I feel really in alignment with what this life wants to do with me, and I feel really grateful for the unknown. It makes me excited because it's always better than I could imagine. So, not right now is not always, it's not always a no, Sometimes it's a yes, and you have to make that decision to say, not right now, Because it was a yes, and you're like, I gotta turn on this yes, But that's where we are. So we have to keep this show at a high octane level, and we have to keep moving, and we have to keep moving in what makes the system work and run. And it also made me think about me listening to Krishnamurti a couple of years ago, and he said, that's why I'm so into etymology with Krishnamurti and also Malcolm X. And he basically said the definition of art is everything in its proper place. And someone who's playing devil's advocate would be like, well, it's not meant to be thought that deep, because regardless of how you arrange things, even if, whatever your perception is of how it's arranged, even if it seems out of order, it is in order. It's a chaotic order. There's still order, and it's art, right? And he said, the greatest art is the art of living, okay? And that all brought me to, this moment. So the greatest art is the art of living, and it will always be that. And I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting God. I'm trusting all my ancestors to always help me land. And so far, this is where we've landed. So I wish you guys all the best, and I hope that my discoveries, my curiosity, does something. Okay, I'll see you. Bye. I'm gonna go find some good food.